Jon Jones has done it again, not with a knockout, but with a single image that shook the entire MMA world. Minutes after Tom Aspinall's no contest with Cyril Gane, Jones posted a duck wearing an eye patch, and fans lost their minds. Was it trolling? Was it war? Within hours, Alex Pereira fired back, teasing a heavyweight showdown that could rewrite UFC history. Dana White jumped in, legends clashed, and the internet split in half, respect versus mockery, legacy versus pride. This isn't just drama, it's dominance, strategy, and chaos rolled into one night that changed everything. Jon Jones didn't need a cage, he used a meme to control the fight game. Like, share, and subscribe, because this story just leaked into history. Jon Jones didn't even have to step inside the octagon to own the headlines after UFC 321. Minutes after the no-contest chaos between Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane, Jones quietly changed his profile picture on X, a duck wearing an eye patch. That single image detonated the internet. Fans instantly connected the dots, the duck jab at Tom's willingness to fight, the eye patch mocking the injury that ended the bout. Some called it childish. Others said it was vintage Jon Jones, a master at psychological warfare. But the trolling didn't stop there. As Alex Pereira reacted live to Aspinall vs. Gane and captioned his post, "Let's make the heavyweight division great again," he hinted at chasing Jon next. In classic Jones fashion, he fired back with a calm, surgical response, "I'd be down to bring the highest level of skill to the White House. Let's dance." Fans saw it as a message layered in strategy, respect on the surface, provocation underneath. In a single night, Jones managed to mock one contender, answer another, and reclaim the spotlight without throwing a punch. The MMA world was laughing, fuming, and refreshing their feeds, and that's exactly how Jon Jones likes it. But while the memes burned across Twitter, the real story was still unfolding inside the arena, where Tom Aspinall's night had taken a devastating turn. Inside the octagon, what was supposed to be a statement fight quickly spiraled into heartbreak. The anticipation for Tom Aspinall vs. Cyril Gane was electric, a clash between the sport's most technical heavyweights, each trying to prove they belonged in the same conversation as Jon Jones. For the first 4 minutes, fans got exactly what they wanted: sharp footwork, blistering exchanges, and glimpses of brilliance from both sides. Then it happened. A perfectly timed combination turned tragic when Gane's outstretched fingers raked across Aspinall's eye. Tom immediately backed away, wincing, shouting that he couldn't see. The referee stepped in, medical staff rushed forward, and the arena fell silent. Within seconds, a no contest was declared. Gane stood in shock, Aspinall sat on his stool, devastated. Years of training, gone in a blink. The crowd's reaction was confusion mixed with frustration. They had come for a war and left with questions. Was it truly accidental? Could Tom have continued? The scene was haunting, a champion forced to surrender not to punches, but to injury. Social media erupted, dividing fans between empathy and skepticism. Yet even before the fighters had left the cage, another storm was brewing outside it. Cameras turned toward Dana White for his post-fight thoughts, and his words would ignite one of the most heated controversies of the year. When Dana White stepped to the microphone after UFC 321, fans expected empathy, but what they heard instead sparked outrage. Asked about the no contest, Dana acknowledged the pain of the situation, but then dropped the line that would ignite social media: Tom didn't want to continue. Those 6 words instantly reshaped the conversation. Within minutes, clips of the press conference spread online. Fans and fighters alike accused Dana of disrespecting his interim heavyweight champion, a man who had just suffered a double eye poke so severe he couldn't open one eye. Commentators pointed out the irony: this wasn't the first time an eye poke ended a fight, yet the UFC's president seemed to place blame on the victim rather than the accident itself. The backlash was swift. Ariel Helwani called the comment predictable. Thousands of fans flooded X and Reddit, calling Dana's tone cold, dismissive, and tone-deaf. Some argued he was trying to protect Cyril Gane's image, others said he simply couldn't resist controlling the narrative. But what united everyone was the same emotion: disgust. For years, Dana's reputation has been built on promoting warriors who never quit. But here, that mindset collided with human reality. Aspinall didn't walk away, he was medically stopped. Still, the insinuation lingered that toughness should outweigh safety. And that's when MMA legends began stepping in, each taking sides on what defines courage inside the cage. As Dana's comments reverberated across the sport, two of the game's most outspoken veterans, Chael Sonnen and Michael Bisping, jumped into the debate, offering drastically different takes. Chael, never one to mince words, said he was disappointed. In his view, champions fight through adversity, even if that means continuing while injured. He argued that fighting with one eye is not uncommon in MMA, pointing to the sport's history of brutal perseverance. To Chael, it wasn't about the legality of the poke, but about the spirit of competition. Real fighters find a way. But Michael Bisping, a man who knows that pain better than anyone, immediately pushed back. Speaking from experience, having fought for years with a damaged eye, he admitted that he shouldn't have. He called Tom's decision to stop the right move, saying, "If you can't see, you can't fight." It wasn't weakness, it was wisdom. The clash between Chael's old-school toughness and Bisping's realism highlighted a generational divide in MMA. Today's fighters are smarter about long-term health, yet they're often shamed for protecting themselves. Fans were split too, one side applauding Tom's integrity, the other echoing Dana's frustration. This debate, what it truly means to be a warrior, would soon evolve into something bigger. Because while legends argued ethics, another icon of the sport, Demetrius "Mighty Mouse" Johnson, stepped in to explain why eye pokes like this are inevitable, and why blaming Tom Aspinall misses the real issue entirely. As debates raged online, Demetrius "Mighty Mouse" Johnson brought calm logic to the chaos. In a detailed breakdown on his channel, he explained that eye pokes aren't about carelessness, they're about design. MMA gloves, he noted, are flat-handed, forcing fingers outward instead of curved. That design flaw makes accidental pokes almost unavoidable in high-level striking exchanges. He pointed out that this isn't new. Legends like Stipe Miocic, Daniel Cormier, and even Jon Jones himself have seen careers altered by eye injuries. The solution, Johnson argued, isn't blaming fighters, it's redesigning equipment and enforcing stricter rules on open hands. His take hit hard because it was honest. In a sport obsessed with toughness, Mighty Mouse reminded everyone that safety isn't weakness, it's evolution. His analysis shifted the narrative from controversy to accountability. But even as the MMA community digested that truth, one man wasn't staying silent. Jon Jones, the same man who lit the match with an eye patch troll, was now taking aim directly at the next contender daring to call him out, Alex Pereira. When Alex Pereira hinted at moving to heavyweight after UFC 321, fans instantly envisioned the ultimate clash, Poatan versus Bones. Pereira, fresh off his light heavyweight dominance, said he'd be open to testing himself against legends. The message was subtle, but Jon Jones heard it loud and clear. Within hours, Jones dropped a cryptic post, a calm training clip captioned, "Timing beats power. Skill beats size." Fans knew exactly who it was aimed at. The internet exploded with dream fight posters, comparisons, and debates over who'd truly rule the octagon's top tier. But behind the scenes, sources hinted that Jon's response wasn't just bravado, it was strategy. By engaging Pereira publicly, Jones was shifting the focus away from Aspinall's controversy and back onto himself, the sport's ultimate puppet master. As Pereira's camp hinted at real talks with the UFC, the rivalry was no longer fantasy, it was beginning to feel inevitable. The MMA world didn't wait for confirmation. Fans made the Jon Jones vs. Alex Pereira fight real overnight. Within hours, Jones vs. Pereira trended across every platform. Fan art flooded Reddit, UFC pages lit up with fantasy matchups, and YouTube analysts dissected every possibility: power versus precision, legacy versus rise. But the fan energy was split. One camp believed Pereira's brutal knockout power could finally dethrone Jones. The other argued Jones' wrestling IQ and adaptability would neutralize Pereira within minutes. Clips of Jon dominating Daniel Cormier resurfaced, while Pereira's cold finishes of Adesanya and Prochaska reminded everyone he's built for violence. Even fighters chimed in, some rooting for chaos, others calling it the most dangerous fight in UFC history. Dana White, sensing the storm, refused to deny the idea, calling Pereira a monster. Suddenly, a fight that didn't exist yet was already the most talked about event of the year. But as hype surged online, one crucial question lingered: where did that leave Tom Aspinall? The man caught in the crossfire of memes, injury, and shifting narratives was about to make his own move, and it would silence everyone questioning his spirit. After days of silence, Tom Aspinall finally broke through the noise. No theatrics. No shade. Just a short, powerful video message: I'll heal. I'll be back. And when I do, I'm coming for whoever holds that belt. His tone was calm but unshakable, the kind of composure that reminded fans why he earned respect in the first place. Within hours, support poured in from fighters across divisions. Leon Edwards, Darren Till, and even Francis Ngannou posted messages of respect, calling Aspinall the future of the division. It wasn't about the no contest anymore, it was about resilience. That simple response shifted the online tone. Memes gave way to motivation, and the narrative flipped, from victim to warrior in recovery. Tom didn't beg for sympathy, he reclaimed his path. While the spotlight bounced between Jon Jones and Alex Pereira, Aspinall's quiet defiance reminded everyone that the heavyweight throne still had one unfinished story, and he was far from done writing it. By the end of the week, UFC headquarters was buzzing louder than ever. Reporters hounded Dana White about the one matchup fans couldn't stop talking about: Jon Jones versus Alex Pereira. This time, he didn't dodge the question. With a grin, he said, "We'll see what happens. Everybody wants that fight." That single phrase was enough to set the internet ablaze again. Insiders revealed the UFC was already exploring timelines, possibly mid-next year, depending on Jones' recovery. For Dana, the logic was clear: a crossover between the sport's biggest name and its deadliest striker could break every pay-per-view record in history. It was spectacle meets legacy, violence meets chess. Meanwhile, Pereira's cryptic training posts and Jones' shadowy gym footage only fueled speculation. Each clip was a statement: both men were preparing for war long before contracts were ever signed. But beyond the hype, something deeper was happening. The UFC had turned controversy into currency. The eye patch troll, the no contest drama, the public feuds, it all built into a storm Dana White knew exactly how to control. Dana White, the master promoter, now had a narrative no one could script better: the champion who trolls from the shadows, the knockout artist chasing history, and the wounded warrior planning his redemption. Whether Jones versus Pereira becomes official or Aspinall reclaims his throne, one thing's certain: the heavyweight division has never felt this alive. The mind games, the memes, the madness, it's all part of the show. And in this new era of the UFC, chaos isn't the problem, it's the fuel. Like, share and subscribe if you're ready for the war that will redefine MMA forever.